Do your pelvic floor muscles feel weak after pregnancy and childbirth, no matter when that was? Then follow this video all the way through for some great exercises for this very important muscle so you can laugh, cough, sneeze, jog, or even get back onto a trampoline worry-free. For more exercises specifically for new mums and mums beyond the baby stage, subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Tuesday, every single week. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications of my new releases. These exercises with the technique tips I'm going to show you will help you get started to a stronger pelvic floor. Plus, they're fun too, much more fun than just doing Kegels. And they're the ones that my client, Catherine, followed too, to help her get back into running safely and effectively. They helped strengthen her core and get a flatter tummy too. So let's get started. Now you're going to need a simple piece of equipment for one or two of the exercises in this video. You can either grab a soft ball or a kid's ball, a soft one though, or if you don't have one of these, a cushion will do. We won't use them for the first exercise, but we will be using them for the second exercise. So grab the cushion or the ball now, press pause, and then come back to me. So for the first exercise, we're actually going to find our pelvic floor muscle because a lot of women are not quite sure, because it's intangible, where it is. So we want to find it and then begin to activate it. So we're going to do that two ways. We're going to start lying on our back first. Knees are bent and knees are together, and so the feet. The feet with your heels are quite close towards your bottom. Make sure your lower back is into the floor. You don't need to push it into the floor, but just make sure you have a small natural curve in your lower back, and your pelvis here, the top of your hips, is lying flat with your pubic bone. That's really important. If you're arched, then it means your pelvic floor is not in the right position to be able to effectively feel the exercise. Okay, we're going to breathe in, we're going to exhale, and we're going to gently imagine we have a diamond-shaped muscle, okay, that's just sitting underneath your bladder, and we're going to gently lift that diamond muscle up towards your belly button, inside your body. And then I want you to inhale and just relax that diamond back down. So we're going to breathe in. It's like a hammock of muscles. You're going to bring that pelvic floor muscle up inside you as if it's coming up in an elevator almost. And then breathing in, just let it relax and come down. And that's actually really important too. You must allow the pelvic floor muscle to relax too. Now bear with me because I know you really want to get started on some dynamic exercises, but this is really important. We've got to find the muscle, locate it, and be able to effectively lift and activate it first. Breathe in and then breathe out, lifting the muscle up. Now, if the kind of diamond shape doesn't work for you, I want you to imagine an elephant's trunk, don't laugh, coming down to pick up a pebble and bring it up off the floor. And that's the same kind of movement. And then you inhale and the elephant's trunk is just releasing the pebble back down onto the floor. So we'll try that again, breathing in. Then breathing out, lifting the pelvic floor up. Imagine the elephant's trunk is coming, lifting up a pebble, okay, up into its trunk. And then as you inhale, you let the pebble release and go, just like you do with your pelvic floor muscle. Now, if that was a little silly for you, or if you want to imagine something else, you can also try the rosebud. So breathe in, and you're grabbing hold of a rosebud. And then as you squeeze the rosebud, okay, you're going to lift up the pelvic floor. So it's like a squeezing action, lifting up the pelvic floor inside you, and then breathing in and slowly letting the rosebud open out and relax, okay? We'll do that one more time with the rosebud visualization. So breathing in, you're holding rosebud, breathing out, squeezing the rosebud tight, tight, tight. Be sure to relax your ribs, and then breathing in, letting the rosebud just go and open out. Now, we're going to try exactly the same thing, but in a seated position. So it's slightly more challenging. So we're just going to sit comfortably with our legs crossed here. And you want to sit really tall. So locate your sit bones, which are right in the center of each bottom cheek. Relax your shoulders and just imagine somebody's pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Now place one hand here on the lower part of the tummy muscles. Breathe in, and we'll go back to our visualization. Breathing out, lift up the pebble, or imagine the elephant's trunk is coming down and lifting the pebble up off the floor. As you breathe out and lifting up the pelvic floor. Breathe in, relax. Breathing out, lifting up the pelvic floor. Breathing in, relax. Twice more. You can imagine that you're holding the rosebud as well. So breathing out, squeezing the rosebud really tight, and then breathing in, let it relax. Now, be careful here. Make sure your bottom muscles are really relaxed. You don't want to be clenching your bottom muscles. Breathing in, relax the pelvic floor. Breathing out, lifting the pelvic floor, that hammock of muscles. Imagine you're lifting the pebble up with the elephant's trunk or squeezing the rosebud. And then inhale, let it release. Breathing in to relax, breathing out, lifting up. Breathing in, release. Excellent, well done. We're moving on. For this next exercise, you'll need your soft ball or the cushion if you don't have one of these, or a kid's soft ball will do too. So we're lying onto our side this time, resting on your forearm. We're going to place the ball just between the inner thighs here, and then we're going to come right down, placing our hand behind the back of our head, so that you're resting on your tricep here. From here, I want you to bring your hips so that your top hip is directly over your bottom hip. You bring your knees just forward, and you want your hips to be at a 45-degree angle right here. Keep your feet one on top of the other, and just place this hand in front of your tummy muscles. Now we're going to breathe in, just relax, but just hold the ball gently here in between your inner thighs. And then as we breathe out, you're going to bring your belly button back, lift up your pelvic floor, and squeeze the ball all simultaneously. So I know there's a lot to think about, but let's just breathe in and relax. And then we'll do this again, and we'll repeat this about 12 to 15 times. So breathe out. Let's squeeze the ball first this time. Lift up the pelvic floor, bring the belly button back, and then breathe in and relax. So, and again, breathe out. Squeezing the ball in between the inner thighs, lifting up the pelvic floor and bringing the belly button back. Breathe in, release. Be sure to keep your ribs relaxed and keep your hips stacked one on top of the other. Breathing out, squeeze the ball, lift up the pelvic floor. Breathe in, release. And again. So squeeze the ball, lifting up the pelvic floor, bringing in and back the belly button. Five more. So remember, the breathing is so crucial. Got to get the breathing right. So you're breathing out at the time that you're squeezing the ball, bringing up the pelvic floor and bringing in the belly button, in and back with the belly button. So the reason why we're doing the inner thighs at the same time is that the inner thighs are all connected to the base of your pelvis here, and also your transverse abdominis is connected to your pelvic floor. So if we work and activate all those muscles together, you get a much better effect at strengthening the pelvic floor. And the muscles all work in synergy with each other. So we're going to do two more. They're all connected. One more. Squeezing the ball, lifting up the pelvic floor, drawing back the belly button, and release. Now we're going to switch to the other side. Placing the ball in between the inner thighs, lying right down on your upper arm, placing the hand behind the back of the head. Bring your knees up towards your chest, one foot on top of the other, and your top hip directly over your bottom hip. So there's this hand just in front here. We're just breathing in to relax, and then breathing out, squeezing the ball, bringing the belly button in, lifting up the pelvic floor. Breathe in, relax. Breathe out, squeeze the ball. lift the pelvic floor, breathe in, relax. And again, go back to the visualization that we talked about. So when you're lifting up the pelvic floor here and squeezing the ball, imagine you're squeezing a rosebud or an elephant's trunk is coming down to pick up a pebble. Breathing in, release. I know it sounds silly, but trust me, it works. A lot of clients have told me that visualization of picking up the pebble with the elephant's trunk really helps them know the kind of action that's required of lifting up the pelvic floor. So breathing out, squeezing the ball in between the legs, lifting up the pelvic floor, breathing in and relaxing. And remember that it's really important that you learn to relax the pelvic floor muscle as well, because in fact, over 50% of women have a too tight pelvic floor, which means it doesn't have the opportunity to relax, and that can cause you problems as well with incontinence and the pelvic floor not functioning correctly. So we're breathing out, lifting up the pelvic floor, bringing back the belly button, breathing in, release. Well done. We're moving on now to the hinge back. So we're going to take the ball out, place it to one side, and we're going to come onto our knees. Now, you're going to have some space in between the knees, but your big toes are together. From here, we're placing the hands just on the thighs, and we're going to breathe in, and then as you breathe out, I want you to imagine you're zipping up a jacket from your pubic bone here, right up towards your chest, and we're going to hinge back at the knee, continue to breathe out, you'll feel a stretch in your front thigh, and then we'll breathe in and come back up to kind of vertical. So you're going to breathe out, zip up an imaginary jacket, breathe in, come back up to vertical. Keep the big toes together and the knees spaced. Breathing out, hinging back from the knees, breathing in. Now try to avoid the mistake of sticking your bottom back when you do this. You don't want to be doing that, okay? You are just breathing out, hinging back, 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 feeling that stretch in the front of the thighs and breathing in. And you'll feel your pelvic floor activate and lift up. Now if you don't feel that, don't worry, okay? But what I want you to do is try hard in terms of lifting the pelvic floor up now and then breathing in and relaxing, okay? So we're going to do 5 more of these. So we're going to do 5 more of these. Three more. Breathing out. Breathing in. 2 more, shoulders relaxed. It's great if you have tight front thighs as well, help stretch those through. 1 more, and back up to vertical. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to lift the arms. Inhale. By lifting the arms, it can help activate the muscle even more. But I want you to be really conscious of the muscle. So lifting up the pelvic floor as you're hinging back, and you're also bringing your belly button in at the same time. Five more. Feel the stretch in the front of the thighs. 2 more. Last one. And rest. Excellent. So now we're going to do 2 exercises standing. So we're going to come up off the floor. The next exercise is the squat with the soft ball or your cushion. So I'm going to take hold of the soft ball. Your feet are about hip width apart, but no wider. And then just place the ball just in between the knees, or just slightly higher, but not in between the inner thighs. So around here, take your hands and place them in front of your chest. We're going to squat down, hinging back at the hips, keeping the feet really flat, and just breathe in. And then this is the important bit, breathing out, lifting up your pelvic floor, squeezing the ball and coming up to standing. So you breathe in as you squat down, breathe out, lift up the pelvic floor as you come up to standing. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. So just make sure you've got your ball in the right position. If you need to position it a bit further up, okay, you can do, but you just don't want it in between the inner thighs. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. And you want to squeeze the ball as you're coming up out of the squat and returning to standing. So you're squeezing the ball here, exhale, lift up the pelvic floor. Draw in your belly button here. And you'll get a really great connection going on between your core, your pelvic floor, your inner thigh muscles. And much more fun than just standing in the supermarket or grocery store trying to squeeze the muscles and doing a Kegel. So whilst Kegels are really important in terms of locating the muscle and understanding how you're lifting the muscle and to strengthen it, you also want to be doing more dynamic exercises such as these to help strengthen the muscle, the pelvic floor. 2 more. Good, 1 more. Now we're going to go down into the squat. We're going to hold it here. We're just going to pulse, squeezing the ball, sitting back at the hips. Bring your body weight right back into the heels of your feet. Keep your hands in front of your chest so that your chest is lifted, and squeeze that ball. And again, you're going to feel this in your inner thighs. I want you to lift up the pelvic floor in each squeeze. We'll do 8 more. 7, 6, 5, good. 4 more. 3, bringing in the belly button. 2, 1 more. And then slowly come up to standing. Well done. Okay, let's move on to the next exercise. So you don't need the ball for this next exercise. It might feel a little silly, this exercise, but bear with me, okay? So we're going to do a similar squat, but we're going to add a slight rotation with it. Now, you're going to place your hands here, okay, really close to your sit bones. That's important because it just helps you kind of activate the muscle. Trust me on this one, okay? So again, feet are hip width apart. We're going to squat down. As you come up, you're going to do a slight turn, okay, and just pivot off your foot. So you'll turn to the opposite side, okay, and you're just literally lifting up the pelvic floor as you turn. So you squat and rotate, squat and rotate. Keep your chest lifted, okay? One mistake is this, when people lean forward and they're trying to squat, so avoid that. Okay, squat, pivot off the foot and rotate. Now with this move, again, it's really important that you time the breathing correctly at each part of the move. So you exhale or breathe out as you're coming up and rotating. And the idea of the hands is to encourage you to be lifting up the muscle. So that's why we've got our hands kind of placed around the sit bones here. Encourage you to lift up. It really helps. Okay, let's do 4 more of these squats. 3. 1 more. And rest. Now, are you finding these pelvic floor exercises more fun than the usual squeeze and hold Kegels? Comment below and let me know with a yes or a no. The next exercise is the hip rotation, and I'm going to show you from the front and from the side. So we're going to stand with our feet close together, going to step back with our left foot. Make sure you're on the ball of your foot and your heel is lifted, and then you'll drop your left knee down towards the floor, keeping this thigh perpendicular to the floor. Have your hands in front, and then you'll do a small turn towards the front bent leg, same side. And then you're going to bring your body back to the center and then step back in. We'll do the same thing on the same leg. So you're stepping back. This time you'll turn simultaneously to dropping the knee towards the floor and then coming back up. So you're turning as you step back. This is great for balance as well. And as you turn, the pelvic floor will lift up. You don't have to do too much actually, it should lift and activate. The lunge is one of the best exercises to help activate and strengthen the pelvic floor. Be wary and cautious of your knees. You want your knee to be behind the toe, so never lunge pushing into the knee. Your aim is to drop the back knee towards the floor as you turn, with a 90-degree angle at both knees. So I'll show you the same leg, but from the side. And be sure that you're turning to the side of the front bent leg, okay? So we'll do 4 more. You'll feel it through your thighs as well, I know. 2 more. One more. And release. Good. And we'll do the same thing with the other leg. So stepping back. Now you've got the motion, we'll do a natural pace. So as you step, you're turning around to the other side this time. Same side as the front bent leg. So you can see my back heel stays up off the floor. The front foot is very flat. My body weight is into the front heel. So when you're here, this is where the pelvic floor is lifting up as you breathe out and come up to standing. So with the breathing, just check in with that. Here, you breathe out and come back up to standing. Got 4 more. 2 more. Excellent, 1 more. And release. Well done, I bet you felt that in your thighs as well. So I now have a bonus exercise for you, which is going to help you release any tension and any tightness in the pelvic floor. Now I've included this bonus exercise for you because if you don't know how to relax your pelvic floor muscle, it's going to be really tricky to strengthen it. And in fact, about 50% of women, and I know from the clients that I've seen, roughly 50% of them are not quite sure how to actually relax the pelvic floor, and their pelvic floor muscle is quite tight. So it's important that you know how to contract it, but also how to release the pelvic floor muscle as well. So we're going to lie onto our back, knees are bent, okay, and the feet are flat. Bring your heels so they're quite close to your bottom muscles here. And you're just gonna gently open out the knees, taking the soles of your feet together. Now you'll probably want to hold it about here. If you can take the knees a little further, then that's all good. But if this kind of feels comfortable for you and you're not straining, then just hold it at about this position. Now you could also just take some yoga blocks, or if you don't have any yoga blocks, you could take some cushions as well. You can just place these underneath your knees, okay, like so. A couple of blocks under each knees with the soles of the feet together. Now, in this position, it's lovely. You're just gonna really relax. So you're going to breathe in, okay, and then as you breathe out, you can just gently let the pelvic floor muscle really relax. And again, you know, if this feels uncomfortable for you, if you've arched your low back, pay attention here. Make sure that lower back is in has a natural curve, okay, between the lower back and the floor, your mat, but you do not want a big tunnel or arch going on here. All right, so the back is flat into the floor. Okay, just releasing the muscle, just breathing in, breathing out. You're not squeezing, you're just trying to release it. So focus here on breathing in and just relaxing the muscle down. And just stretching through the inner thighs. So remember, instead of the yoga blocks, you can also have cushions underneath your knees as well. There's a great stretch to do. If you do want to take it a bit further, then you can just lower your knees, okay, further down towards the floor, but really pay attention to your lower back. You want your lower back to be flat into the mat. And I recommend that you really hold this stretch for about 10 to 20 seconds, just breathing in, breathing out. And as you breathe in, really try and let the pelvic floor muscle just relax down, and that's on the breathing in. And then bring your knees up together, hug your knees towards your chest, give it one final stretch, relax your shoulders. Again, just bringing your belly button down and then place your feet back onto the floor. Well done, that's it. Now that you've taken the first step to strengthening your pelvic floor, don't stop just yet. My free 7-day body reset after pregnancy guide gives you more exercises to help flatten your tummy and also release any tension. Download your free copy here or in the link below this video. Plus, if you want to join a community of other mums just like you and get my tips and tricks on flattening your tummy, strengthening your core and your pelvic floor post-baby, then join my private group. The link is below this video. and I look forward to seeing you there. For more exercises specifically for new mums and mums beyond the baby stage, subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out my other video, post-baby belly exercises for new mums to get a flatter tummy. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified of its release.